dating itself is not fun. It is not fun. I don't care what anybody says. It is not fun. And I feel so sorry that at this age, she's learning this. Cuckoo my loves, and welcome back to the Jeune Maman Podcast channel. I'm your host Isa2. Today I'm talking about Tia Mowry, who I loved growing up because I used to watch Sister Sister, and I always loved her specifically on Sister Sister because I was like, oh, she's a good child, she's this, she's that, da 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 da. Come to find out years later, they actually just played each other's characters, really like each other's personalities. So we love to talk about the white twin and the black twin, and society loves to call Tamara the white twin and Tia the black twin because she was on the game, and Tia has, no, not Tia, Tamara has a white husband. And that's really where you can tell where people, you know, harp on race or have an issue with race, even though they may say that they're not racist or they don't have racist issues. The fact that these girls are biracial, it is not beyond the realm of possibility that they would marry white men. Like, their father is white. So I don't see why people love to talk about the fact that Tamara is married to a white man when her father is white. Tia's father is white. They're twins, like 2 and 2 plus 4. So anyways, that's just something that I always found interesting when people talk about the twins, and they talk about it in such a divisive way, a juxtaposed way of like this one versus the other. And it shouldn't be like that. I love both of them. Obviously, when I was watching it, when I was younger, when I was watching Sister Sister, I geared more towards Tia. But, you know, nowadays, I don't know about Tia anymore. Tia has a lot going on, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, she's got me a little bit worried. So in this video, I'm just gonna talk about some of the things that she's been going through. I've seen some videos where people talk about like her divorce with Corey Hardrick. I don't know how you say his last name. I hope that's how you say it. But I've seen some videos about people talking about that, how he's winning and she's losing. I don't see it like that. Today, what I want to talk about in this episode and focus more on is something that I made a video on before, which was to marry right. It is better to marry the right person later on in life than to marry the wrong person earlier. And I feel like Tia is going through something like that, where she got married really young. So now she's divorced and she wants to relive her 20s. She wants to relive these experiences that she feels like she missed out on, and it's going all wrong. So what I'm going to do is play a couple of clips from Tia herself and give my commentary on it and talk about how I don't think the grass is always greener on the other side. I'm the last person to give any type of marriage advice. I know I get on this channel and I do all this talking and talking, but we're all figuring life out. None of us know. That was interesting. None of us know what's really happening. We're not the masters of our own destiny. Sometimes people like to say all those things, but like, I'm a pretty spiritual, religious person. I feel like things that happen in our life were predestined. They were going to happen no matter what. You know, of course, prayer can change things and alter things, all that stuff. Like, it's a lot deeper than just saying like, you don't get to control your life. But I do believe that what's meant to happen is going to happen, and that happened in the case of Tia. And I feel like she's going to be learning some lessons about getting out of her marriage and having expectations of what the dating world is going to be like, because baby, I don't know who did not talk to Tia, but if she would have asked me, I would have told her there's nothing in these streets. The grass is not greener on the other side. And I'm not saying she should have stayed married to Corey, but at least keep us out of the group chat, because she's telling us a lot of information about how dating is going and not going for her, and it's getting cringy. So let's just talk about that.
It got worse.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's about to get worse. Oh! It got worse. It got worse.
So Tia has been on this TikTok journey. She loves to use that word journey of like discovering herself and going through mental health and all this stuff. And I feel like that's a lot of buzzwords that people use, saying that they're rediscovering who they are and da 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 da. And I think later on we're gonna get to a clip where she talks about something that I'm just like, you could have done that in your marriage. Now, I'm going to say it again. I don't condone staying married for the sake of being married. I don't condone staying married just for the children. Like, of course, the children are very, very important. Their stability is very important. But just for the children, there's a lot more that has to go into that. But I feel like Tia is learning a lesson in life of like, girl, it is not that nice on the other side. Now, I will be the first to say, like, I don't condone just divorcing for the sake of divorcing or divorcing to find yourself. I much would rather folks would like separate for some time. Like, that's not much better, but it's like separate for some time. You do some introspection. The other person does some introspection. You talk about what you need from them to keep this going. They tell you what they need, and like kind of just move forward from there. But to just divorce and then jump into the dating world, like, I feel like Tia doesn't have a true glimpse, a true idea of what the dating world truly has to offer these days, and she's gonna get a very hard pill to swallow. So that was the first video. Let's move on to the second video. I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand. Yeah, they think I'm staying. All right, girl. All right, we're gonna just pause it right there. I feel, how do I feel? I feel like she's too damn old. She is too damn old to be doing this. Like, girl, it's one thing to divorce your husband because you felt like you weren't getting what you needed from him and you were da-da-da-da-da. Fine, no problem. I think people forget that when you divorce the man and you have children together, you're still a mom or you're still a dad. You divorce the person who is your partner, but you still have responsibilities and obligations to your kids. And I'm not the most girl's girl. I'm not the biggest pick-me-sha either. I just feel like I try to find like the balance in between of like, okay, I get it. She wants to live a happier life. She didn't feel fulfilled in that relationship, so she wants to change that. She wants to course correct. Fine, no problem. But I also don't feel like she needs to be doing this where it's like, it's Valentine's Day. I think that was a caption, something about Valentine's Day. She doesn't need anybody else. I can buy myself flowers. I can do this. I can do that. Then why do we get other videos later on where you're talking about getting back into the dating world and trying to fill that gap? Like, there's always going to be a gap. I hate when people talk about, I don't need anybody. I can do this all on my own. I don't need nobody. I don't need a man. Ladies, ladies, ladies. I don't know who sold that narrative to us, but we have to switch our mind frames, our mindsets a little bit, and just understand, like, we are human beings. We cohabitate. We are codependent. We are interdependent. Like, well, codependency is not good, but we are interdependent, and like, you thrive off of being with other people. They thrive off of being with you, and to have that connection with somebody else, like, that's not something to be taken lightly. So I very much understand and appreciate her desire to want to relive some of the things that maybe she didn't get to live in her 20s. But I also want her to take a step back and be like, is this worth living? Like, is this worth destroying my marriage over? I mean, it's too late now. They're already divorced. But like, I just really hate to see her trying to publicly go through this journey and bring us along by force. Like, of course, it's not by force. Oh my God, I don't have to watch this. You don't have to watch me talk about watching this. Nobody has to follow her, but she does have so many followers. And I do remember seeing an interview where she was talking about people reaching out to her saying that because she had the courage to leave her relationship with Corey, that other people felt compelled, or they felt like they had the courage to do the same in their own marriages. I never think that's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing to split people up unless it's just a very toxic situation. But to this day, besides like, oh, I just outgrew him, or I feel like I just am in a different space than he is, that I don't think the relationship is going to work anymore. I don't think that's a compelling enough reason, and feel free to disagree with me in the comments, but like, I just don't see like what was it that she is looking for or was looking for, and is she finding that? I don't think she is, because she makes these cringeworthy, these very like hard to watch videos. And the last one that I'm gonna play is gonna show a little bit of that, of like, girl, you left your marriage, however damaged and flawed it was, to come out into these streets and deal with more of the same BS or worse BS according to your standards. Like, there's just not much out here, and I really wish she would have taken the time to evaluate that before she ruined her family, because it's not just about her and Corey, it's about the kids as well. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to tell anybody to just stay in a marriage just for the sake of the kids, but there's a holistic picture here, and it doesn't seem like since she's left her marriage she's having that good of a time. especially that she's trying to portray to us on social media. Like, I feel like she's doing so much to try to show us that she's good and others should jump on the bandwagon. It's like, girl, pump the brakes a little bit. I don't think you're that happy, because according to what you're showing us, like, you're not having that good of a time. And if anybody can tell you these dating streets are not good, I don't hear any good stories from my friends who are single and still trying to figure it out. So I just cannot fathom, like, trying to, at 38 years old, put myself back out there with, like, I don't know how many kids they have, but like, trying to restart and rebuild and regrow. Like, girl, that is a lot of work. I might have just tried to make it work with my own man, okay? And this whole journey that she's talking about as she's single and trying to discover herself, I feel like sometimes people forget that you can do that within the marriage as well. Like I mentioned earlier, maybe you do like a separation. It doesn't have to be a formal separation. Maybe it's like, take some time to yourself and refocus on yourself, rediscover the things that you love about yourself and like what you're looking for, communicate that with your partner, and try to move forward with what you already have. I feel like when you have a foundation, we're gonna see a video where she talks about how things were very good with Corey. So it's like, if you have that good foundation, try to make that work versus trying to come out here and rebuild anew with somebody else. I can't. Let's just jump to that video, because I don't want this to be a super long video of me ranting about Tia Mowry. Let's just jump to that video and let's see what she has to say.
How hard is it in the dating world now?
Oh my God.
What is it like out there for a single woman?
Tequila ain't gonna get you through it, girl.
For 5 years, so I don't know what this world is like out there, but I know it. But from what I've seen, from what I hear, it is tough.
It is very tough. And it is exhausting. Like,
It's exhausting.
I'm gonna throw the towel in. Someone had told me, and I wanted to be like, no, I disagree with you, and I don't want to believe it. My last relationship, when dating was, when I was,
Corey.
dating this person, it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was wonderful. There was courting that was, involved. And I was saying how I feel like that's no longer, present, meaning like people just don't court each other anymore. And this person was like, well, that's old news. Like people just don't do that anymore. There's just this whole new way of doing things. And I'm like, you mentioned tradition, and I think that's where it kind of needs to go back to, where, a man is courting a woman and showing her, how much he appreciates her and wants her and loves her or wants to be with her. They have this mentality right off the bat that there is someone else. Do you know what I mean? Like there could be someone else.
Is it that they're the prize?
Yes. Yes.
We talking deep here.
Yes.
We might get into it.
It ain't that deep.
That the man is
It ain't that deep.
Yes. I'm talking loud. Yes.
I'm gonna pause it right here. It ain't that deep, okay? People do walk around thinking they're the prize. Some people, not everybody. But I think really what's going on here with Tia, and something that she's coming to terms with, is, wow, when I had Corey, and of course this was years ago. I don't know how long they were married for, but they were married for a long time, right? In the beginning or throughout, whatever. She talks about how it was beautiful, how he was courting her and he showed her that he wanted her and that he admired her and all this stuff. Like, okay, I may be paraphrasing. Could use some fries right now. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but we talk about how she felt with Corey. And none of those things had to do with the ultimate reason why she gives for breaking up with him, which is financial. So she talks about all these things that he made her feel, right? All these things that he did to make her feel special, to make her feel wanted, to make her feel like she was a prize, according to her. And now she feels like in the dating world, everybody feels like they're the prize. So she has to put in a little bit of work, a little bit of effort. And I don't think she realizes, girl, the dating world has changed so much from when you were in it before you got married. Like, it is a complete 180. People are out here acting a fool, showing their asses. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I haven't been in the dating world for a while, but I know that when I was, it was just like, what is going on? What is going on and why am I involved? And I feel sorry for her that at 38 years old, she's going through this, because it's not fun. you're going to get a lot of disrespect. You're going to get a lot of ambiguity. You're going to get a lot of people who are not sure about you, but want you to feel like they're sure about you or you're sure about them. And it's just going to be this back and forth of like, is he going to text me back right away? Is he going to wait till tomorrow? Is he going to, like, there's just so many questions when it comes to dating. The insecurity of dating. It literally, I mean, some people are dating and they're having the time of their lives. They're in secure relationships. I feel like when you're in a relationship, it's not the same as dating though. She's dating, actively dating. She's not in a relationship, so she's trying things out and meeting new people. So that's very different from being in a committed relationship. Dating itself is not fun. It is not fun. I don't care what anybody says. It is not fun. And I feel so sorry that at this age, she's learning this. And we're going to get to an example of what her dating experience has been like as she tries to navigate this journey that she keeps talking about. And I wish she would have gone through this journey of finding herself within her marriage and tried to make that work, because I don't think, I can't speak for her. I don't know her. I don't know what she's going through. She knows what she's going through. So maybe she's right. Maybe she couldn't stay with Corey. But I really, 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 really don't think we should be hearing about all of these things, because it's getting really sad for us to see. As an icon, as a sister fan, as somebody who like grew up on Tia and Tamara, it's really sad to see her go through this. And maybe it is part of the journey. Maybe we're supposed to learn something from this. Tell me what the lesson is at the end of it, because I certainly don't know what it is. And we're about to get into the last part of this video where we talk about one of her most recent dating experiences.
The dating scene. And I thought that as I take off my makeup, I would share some of my horror stories beforehand. Oh God, I'm getting PTSD just telling this story. This is my life. So he ends up showing up, and he's a lot shorter than I thought that he was going to be, which was pretty interesting, but you know, no judgment here. But what was surprising to me was he ended up showing up with a grill in his mouth. And I was like, no, he's not just going to take it out of his mouth and just put it on the table. Guess what? He took it out of his mouth and he put it on the table. Right there on the table. I mean, at least he had a napkin, right?
So that was a very, very short clip of her talking about a recent dating experience where she went out with a guy. He was a lot shorter than she anticipated, and he had grills in his mouth. So she was like, where are these grills gonna go when it's time to eat? And this man took his grills out and put it right on the table on top of a napkin while they ate. And she was so turned off by that. And I just want to say, girl, what do you think is happening out here? Okay, like, I understand maybe you didn't have full expectations, or you didn't know what to expect coming into this date. But this is what dating is. Dating is trial and error. Dating is today is gonna go well, tomorrow is gonna go bad. Dating is picking through the frogs and the frogs and the frogs until you get to a potential prince. And he ain't even the Prince of Narnia. He's the prince of some random hood over there. I don't know what Tia has in mind in terms of what her life post-divorce was gonna look like, but I feel like she's getting a big reality check of like, this graduation that she had from her marriage is not yielding to opportunities that she really was looking forward to, and people are not approaching her the way maybe she thought she was gonna get approached, because it seems to me like she's out here just trial and erroring. Like, you didn't know what this man was going to look like before you went on a date with him. Like, not like physically, but like, you didn't know he's going to have a grill. You didn't know he was going to be short. Are you not on dating apps where it shows you the height of people and they lie about it so you can show up and be surprised? I think she's getting a real taste of what true dating in 2022, 2023, 2024, and probably 2025 is going to be like. She's in for a surprise. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I mean, I gave my thoughts. Overall, I feel like people don't understand that the grass is not always greener. Ugh, I can't speak. The grass is not always greener on the other side. That unfortunately, what you might be leaving to go to find something better might not always be better. So sometimes the journey that you want to go through, the self-discovery that you want to do, sometimes you need to just do it right where you are. Just do it within your marriage and see if that works out. And of course, if you need to divorce, go ahead and divorce, but don't put us in the group chat and have us all involved and all invested, because we love you, Tia. We love you and we want to see you thrive, but this is getting cringy. This is getting very embarrassing. And so I just wanted to make a quick video about that, because it's been something that I've been seeing for some time, especially with Tyler Perry's new movie, Divorce in the Black. Like Corey Hardrick, people are talking about, oh, Tia was holding him back. She was actually the problem. She was this, she was that. It's like, okay, guys, we were not in the marriage, so we don't know exactly what was going on. Let's not jump to conclusions saying she was holding him back. Maybe she had valid reasons for divorcing him. All I'm saying is maybe divorce him and then be quiet. Maybe divorce in silence, maybe date in silence until you pop up with a new man. But this whole publicity, this whole like making these TikTok videos and trying to show us and prove to us that you are happy post-divorce, it's getting a little cringy, and the evidence is saying otherwise, because you're going on these horrible dates according to you, and you're dealing with all of this shenanigans that you didn't deal with Corey, because you said that was a beautiful courtship. He made you feel loved, he made you feel wanted, yada 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 yada. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this whole Tia Mowry and Corey Hardrick situation? Do you think she made a mistake in divorcing him? Do you think they're going to get back together? Do you think that I'm completely off base and you just disagree with everything that I said? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video.